By the time dinner started, I already knew my sister was struggling, not in the dramatic way people imagine when they hear stories afterward. There was no obvious warning sign, no slurred speech, no public scene building in slow motion, just small things. The way she kept leaving the table and coming back quieter each time. The way our mother watched her more than she watched the actual wedding. The way every conversation around her felt slightly adjusted, like people were unconsciously balancing glasses near the edge of a table. I should have recognized the feeling sooner. Our family had spent years orbiting her moods without admitting that's what we were doing. When she lost jobs, there were explanations. When she missed rent, there were temporary solutions. When relationships collapsed, somebody else had always pushed her too hard. And usually, eventually, that somebody became me. The dinner itself was simple, warm lighting, too many flowers. My husband squeezing my hand under the table every few minutes like he could feel how tightly wound I was trying not to become. Then my father stood to give a toast, nothing cruel in it. Honestly, it was gentle. He talked about stability, partnership, building a peaceful life with someone who makes difficult things easier to carry. I saw my sister's expression change before anyone else did, not anger at first. Something worse, recognition, like every sentence confirmed a version of herself she'd spent years trying to outrun. The glass shattered halfway through the toast. People froze instinctively. Forks paused. Chairs scraped lightly against the floor. My sister stood abruptly, breathing hard, wine dripping from her hand onto the tablecloth. This should have been my celebration. Nobody moved immediately. The room had that strange silence public places get after something breaks. Not just the object, but the social agreement holding everything together. Then she shoved the gift table. Boxes hit the floor, cards scattered. Someone gasped quietly near the back of the room, and my mother, without hesitation, rushed directly to her side. Not toward me, not toward my husband, toward her. She's just overwhelmed, my mother said quickly, holding both hands up toward the guests like she could smooth the whole thing, flat through tone alone. Overwhelmed. I remember staring at that word more than the actual destruction, because suddenly I could see our entire family history inside it. Overwhelmed meant forgiven before accountability arrived. Overwhelmed meant temporary immunity from consequences. Overwhelmed meant everyone else adjusts. My husband stood beside me slowly. He didn't say, "Let's leave." He just picked up one of the fallen wedding cards from the floor and placed it back onto the table carefully. That small movement broke something loose inside me more than the shouting had. We helped the venue staff clean up quietly for 15 minutes while my mother escorted my sister outside. Guests avoided eye contact. Some tried apologizing for things they had nothing to do with. By the time we got into the car, I felt strangely calm, not numb, finished. During the drive home, memories kept surfacing without invitation. Co-signing my sister's lease after her eviction warning 2 years earlier, paying 3 months of utilities she swore she'd reimburse, answering midnight calls that always began with, "I just need a little help getting through this month." Every rescue had felt temporary at the time. Together, they had become her life structure. Around midnight, after my husband fell asleep on the couch, still half dressed from the wedding, I opened my laptop. The property management portal loaded slowly. I reread the lease terms twice before sending the formal request, removing myself as co-signer at the first eligible review period outlined in the agreement. No threats, no message to my sister announcing it, just documentation. Then I opened my phone and muted the family group chat for the first time in my life. At 8 a.m., someone knocked hard enough to wake both of us. My sister stood outside wearing yesterday's makeup and an oversized sweatshirt, eyes swollen from crying. For a second, neither of us spoke. Then she said quietly, "Mom told me what you did." Not screaming this time, just scared. I let her inside. She sat at the kitchen counter while sunlight moved slowly across unopened wedding gifts stacked near the wall. They said, "If you're removed," she began carefully, "I might not qualify a loan when renewal comes up." I nodded. "That's possible." Her breathing became uneven again. "You're really doing this because of last night?" The question lingered there because part of me wanted to say yes. It would have simplified everything into one clean emotional event. But that wouldn't have been true. "No," I said finally. "Last night just made me realize I've been helping you avoid consequences so long that none of us know what happens without me anymore." She looked down immediately after that, not defensive, just tired. For years, I'd imagined boundary setting would feel powerful, clear, victorious. Instead, it mostly felt sad. My phone buzzed repeatedly from the other room. My mother almost certainly trying to restore the previous arrangement before anything permanently changed. My sister rubbed her forehead slowly. "I don't know how to fix everything right now." For the first time in years, I believed she was telling the truth. And for the first time, I understood that fixing it could not automatically become my assignment. A few weeks later, I received a text from her while sitting at the dining table filling out wedding thank you cards. I got a second job, that was it. No apology, no emotional speech. I stared at the message for a long time before locking my phone again. Some relationships don't heal all at once. Sometimes they just stop resting entirely on one person.